I'm Hannah from the Creative Future podcast, and that's a podcast where we interview different creative industries professionals on their journeys from graduation to where they are now. So, I study and work in the areas of graphic design as well as digital media marketing, and my main focus for the project was these areas. So, my skills include designing advertising visuals as well as user interfaces. And I have also have experience in social media marketing, so writing copy, scheduling posts, as well as sort of analyzing how well the posts are doing in terms of reach. So working on this project definitely confirmed that I am very interested in going into this area of design moving forwards. The Creative Futures podcast was created as part of a QUT project management unit for creative industry students. So this meant that the group I was working with had a wide range of creative skills. So video and audio editing, graphic design, marketing, and entertainment management. As creative industry students ourselves, we had felt firsthand the uncertainty that sometimes comes from moving past graduation in a creative field. So we wanted to do a project that would help other creative industry students learn what to expect once they had graduated and they were moving into the workforce, as well as how to make the best out of their experience and knowledge that they already had when they were looking for a job. So we found that the podcast interview format was something that not only suited our different skill areas, but also was a great medium for putting these topics out there for our fellow creative industry students. So we contacted people within our own networks, friends, family, past students in the creative industries, and we found 3 great interviewees from music, games design, and architecture. So obviously these are all very different areas of work. So we were having to be flexible about when we would record our interviews each week. And our setup was at QUT in a sound recording and editing room, and we had 2 microphones. So we used a standard microphone as well as one that had a input for both left and right, so both speakers were being clearly recorded as well. For the creation of this project, I was in charge of creating the branding for Creative Futures podcast. So this included banners and profile images for the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. So I also used these assets from the initial branding to create images that were introducing each new guest to the audience every week. And then, as well as this, Alex, another group member, she used these visuals as well to help create the static images and thumbnails for our YouTube uploads. So another group member did create the Facebook page initially, but I was a major contributor. So I was writing posts and scheduling them, as well as advertising the new episodes each week, introducing guests as well. Another group member and I, Justin, we were tasked with setting up the sound recording equipment in the recording room before each interview. So with each setup, I was testing the audio levels and did some test recordings to make sure we had the best sound before moving ahead. I feel that the branding I created for Creative Futures podcast was effective in creating a strong brand image for the project, and that it was easily recognizable across all platforms. So people could be searching for us regardless of platform and find us easily that way. So the social media marketing I produced for the project was successful considering the time in which we released the content. So that was an average of 88 people per post reached within a 3-week span. The sound recording space that we did use, it worked really well for the second 2 interviews. Unfortunately, we were unable to use it for the first interview as there were some unexpected auditions happening in the room at that time. So we were initially informed that we didn't have to book ahead, but we made sure that we did that each time for the next episodes, just to ensure we could get the best quality possible. Fortunately, Alex was able to clean up the episode where we weren't able to use this recording space, but it still did affect the quality somewhat. So we wanted to make sure that for the next 2 episodes, we could use the space. I think one thing that could be improved for the project was to confirm our guests a little earlier in the timeline. I think that not having our guests available, not knowing their availability earlier on, sort of pressed us to produce the episodes within a shorter time frame. So while we did get the right amount of episodes, we could have probably done it over a longer time had we had these guests confirmed earlier on. Ultimately, this project allowed me to build on my existing skills in social media marketing and graphic design, particularly branding. And I also learned a lot about sound equipment, how to set it up, and what was best for recording an interview type setting. And all of these skills, how to better apply them when working with a group project. So, implementing the ideas and expectations of others. And this is a key skill I'll be using in my future practice.